I think when you get the real unlock of the United States economy and you get the real institutional money flowing in, I think it's just hard to predict some of the upside opportunity.
Brad Garlinghouse believes that institutional utility is going to drive cryptocurrencies to levels that is hard to predict right now. In this video, we're going to talk about exactly what that means and why it is so important to listen to people like Brad Garlinghouse on these topics. Guys, I am in full alignment with Brad Garlinghouse that when cryptocurrencies become a new way to move money and transact in the future financial system, the price appreciation of these assets is going to be hard to fathom. In this video, we're going to talk about exactly what that means and why you are not crazy to listen to some of these predictions. Guys, a lot of people want to paint you as a moon boy or a conspiracy theorist for believing these things. I want to show you why that is so wrong and you need to ignore people saying this. Guys, make sure to stick around for this whole video. I think it's really important for you to see. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. Thank you to everyone who takes the time to like these videos and subscribe to the channel. These two things really do mean so much. Also, if you ever need a place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out my favorite exchange Uphold down in the description of this video. With that said, though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So guys, as you heard from Brad Garlinghouse there in the intro of this video, he believes the institutional unlock is going to create vast expansion on the prices of these cryptocurrencies. So much to say that he actually kind of pulled back on his initial prediction. He almost said a 10x, but I think he really does believe it's going to be a lot greater than a 10x. That's why he kind of pulled back his statement. But to a lot of people, this is moon boy talk. To a lot of people, these are crazy predictions. It's not safe to put predictions out here on the market. People think it's unrealistic. Meanwhile, the CEO of probably the most important cryptocurrency company in existence right now is going out and openly saying that he believes these things are going to happen. I think it's really important that people do not lose their confidence because other people are less confident than they are. What does that mean? Well, a lot of people have really high predictions for what XRP could one day go to. Now, if you have those high predictions in a vacuum or in void of any kind of development by Ripple or the XRP ledger, then I would say, okay, yeah, maybe some of those predictions are unrealistic. But if your true thesis is that XRP is going to be critical in facilitating the new financial system we're heading into, if your true thesis is that XRP gets mass adoption from major institutions, the XRP ledger is a critical utility for moving money between these institutions, and XRP acts as some kind of neutral liquidity asset for the most important institutions on Earth, then I don't think those predictions are absurd at all. And in fact, I believe a lot of the predictions I see out there that people call too high or unrealistic actually might be underestimating XRP's true value. Guys, a lot of people have a really hard time understanding how exponential a price chart can get. If you look at the chart of NVIDIA back in 2013 to 2014, the chart was going parabolic, and a lot of people are saying this has to be a topping formation. NVIDIA is already gone parabolic. You need to run from this stock. Well, what has happened since then? Well, the chart continued to go up, the chart continued to go parabolic, and in fact, it was just at the beginning of its exponential run. People couldn't see just how high NVIDIA was going to go, and therefore it looked like the price was already unrealistic. But the fact of the matter is the only reason it looked unrealistic was because people couldn't gauge how much more expansion NVIDIA's products were going to have in the market. People who actually understood NVIDIA knew that they were working on AI. People who actually understood NVIDIA understood that their GPUs were going to be critical to the future of compute in the United States. And therefore, those people were able to wrap their head around the current valuation and realize it was actually minuscule in comparison to the total addressable market. That is what we are doing with the XRP ledger. A lot of people look at the price today and say, oh, going to $5 to $10, that would be extremely high. That would be an exponential movement. That would be the time in which I would sell all my XRP. But guys, if you have a fundamental thesis that the XRP ledger is going to be critical to the utility of moving money around the world, if you have the fundamental thesis that the current banking rails are outdated and they need to be upgraded, and an asset like XRP is going to be critical to solving that problem, then I would argue $5 to $10 is probably too low. I would argue that just like NVIDIA, the price will probably go a lot higher than what people are arbitrarily assigning their price targets to. They're just picking a random number and slapping it on XRP. They're just picking a random chart formation, slapping it over the XRP price chart and saying, hey, maybe this same thing will happen again. Yeah, that's great, but we have never seen institutional adoption of this asset class. We have never seen XRP step into this role of being a neutral liquidity asset between major financial institutions. We have never seen the XRP ledger used for tokenization of real-world financial products, quadrillions of dollars of derivatives, trillions of dollars of real estate, the stock market. All of these assets are going to be tokenized. And it's not just me making up the fact that, oh, maybe they'll be tokenized. BlackRock, the biggest custodian on earth, is literally telling us this is something they're working on and something that's going to happen. So then your next choice just has to be, what blockchains are they going to use to facilitate this? Well, I don't think it's that crazy to think that Ripple, a company who's been working with these financial institutions, a company that has deep ties to people like the Federal Reserve, the ECB, and a lot of the other banking institutions in the United States, with people on their board from major institutions and people who work at these other institutions who used to be on Ripple's board, for Ripple to be one of the main players facilitating this. And when you combine that with the fact that the XRP ledger is fast and efficient, I don't think it's crazy to say that the XRP ledger is going to be critical in this transformation. Guys, we go over documents all the time on this channel that show that these major financial institutions are 100% in the process of adopting DLT technology because they understand it is far more efficient than the current rails. If we are under the assumption that this transformation is going to happen and Ripple is going to be positioning XRP to benefit from this transformation and be a key part of the new inner workings of the financial system, I don't think the price targets many people are throwing out there that people are saying are unrealistic are really that unrealistic. And that's why I think it's so important to listen to people like Brad Garlinghouse. Brad Garlinghouse is literally coming out and saying, hey, I don't think people are properly looking at this thing. I don't think people properly understand just how exponential these things can get. I think Brad Garlinghouse is literally saying what you've seen so far, this is just the start of it. This is the pre-.com little pump. This is not the full .com utility bubble. This is not the full amount of unlock from these institutions flowing into this asset class and these assets driving real world utility. He is telling you we have not seen that, and it's hard to imagine what is going to happen when that unlock occurs. Guys, I am in the same thought process of Brad Garlinghouse, and I don't think it's bad to be in the same thought process of one of the most successful cryptocurrency CEOs out there. At the end of the day, Brad's the one in the room with most of these institutions. He's the one facilitating a lot of these deals. He's the one who understands the potential volume that is going to be coming to these systems. And for Brad Garlinghouse to be coming out and saying that he is extremely optimistic on the utility unlock from these major financial institutions, well, I'm inclined to think that he probably knows a thing or two about where this industry is headed. Guys, what I have seen in my own research in this space perfectly aligned with what Brad Garlinghouse is saying. And I think a lot of people get really thrown off because they're early to all of this. They did all this research and they realized all these different things before mainstream media picked up on it. And this gave them an opportunity to invest in these things before they went to where Brad Garlinghouse and I believe they're going to go over the long run. And for some people, this is hard. It's hard being early. It's hard being told you might be wrong. It's hard being told that, hey, there is risk in this investment. But people need to understand that without risk, there is no reward. To be early to something, to benefit from something over the long run, you have to have those uncertainties. You have to have the possibility you might be wrong. There needs to be that risk, or else everyone would do it and there would be no reward. Some people don't want to be early, but they don't want to be late, and end up just sitting in their own insecurity, afraid of what's going to happen next. They end up buying the top, they end up missing the pump, and they end up being the person who's buying Bitcoin right now saying, oh, I wish I knew about this in 2013. They could look, they could go find the new thing, they could go find the XRPs of the world, they could go find the next big investment, but at the same time, they don't want to be early. So people need to understand you need to embrace being early. You need to embrace the fact that you figured out about this stuff before the masses, before the real utility kicked in. When Brad Garlinghouse still had the ability to say that this institutional unlock is in front of us rather than behind us. And I think the people who fully embrace that and fully embrace that the true potential of these digital assets is yet to be seen yet are going to be the people who benefit most, because those are the people who are not going to arbitrarily sell their assets at random price targets that don't have any fundamental basis. They're not the people who are going to liquidate their entire position when XRP hits $2, because these are the people who have a full-on thesis for what XRP could one day become. And until XRP becomes that asset that they believe it has the potential to be, they're not going to be interested in liquidating large portions of their investment. Guys, it was the same exact thing with other things I've invested before in the past. When I first started making a lot of money on Tesla stock back in 2020, I was investing all through 2017, 2018, 2019. The stock went exponential 2021, 2022. Everyone was saying, why don't you just sell? Why don't you just dump all of it? Guys, people were saying the same thing when I was riding Nvidia up. Why don't you just sell? Why don't you just get rid of all of it? Because I have a vision for what these companies are going to be. I have a vision for how critical they're going to be in the future. And they're not even close to that vision playing out. Until my vision plays out and these assets go to the place I think they can go, I'm just not interested in liquidating my position. For me, these are investments. It's more than just a line on the screen. And I am happy to be early. I am happy to invest when other people are fearful, because I know that is when I am going to get the greatest reward. I know this is how it works. Brad Garlinghouse knows how this is going to work. And I just hope you don't fall into the trap of listening to people who don't know how these things are going to work, are not confident in their investment, who are just projecting their fear onto you. Anyway, guys, I hope this video helped. Thank you so much for coming. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe. And for now, Mickle out.